What's up everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do something a little bit different for you now, and I'm going to call it Tuesday's Top Tech Tips. A little bit of a tongue twister that one, but let's see if the name sticks. What I'm going to do is create lots of mini tutorials for you, and I'm hoping that you can utilize the skills that I show you for like some grand masterpiece or something. So I thought I'd start today with a spooky vid, because I'm a spooky kind of gal. I like my horror films. I love sitting down and watching those ghost caught on camera videos. And I was also born on like Halloween, well, night before. What I'm gonna do for this video is show you how to edit in a ghost in your natural film footage. Now, I've noticed that there's a large growth on paranormal accounts on YouTube, on Instagram, and on TikTok. And I've seen the comments on these videos. People really believe in the footage. So I just want to show you how easy it is to create some fake ghost camera trickery. So I'm going to use Premiere Pro because that's the editing software I use for all my videos, but the basic principle can be used across all editing software really. So I started by filming a video, obviously this way for TikTok, in my corridor of my flat. Because it's a pretty spooky corridor anyway, it really tricks my mind and stuff. So this is the basic footage of my corridor. I know it's pretty freaky anyway. There's a coat there and it always plays tricks on my eyes because there's banisters up there and stuff. So when you're filming your footage of your room or whatever, you want it really raw. You don't want to add in any music. You don't want to really play around with the effects too much or anything, because that takes away from the authenticity of the footage. So what I've done next is I have found a ghost footage with green screen behind it off YouTube. You can download this stuff just by Googling YouTube downloader, but be careful because it can be a bit spammy, and also you want something with no copyright to it. She does a weird kind of glitchy turn there, which I don't want to keep because that'll just make it look even more fake. So I'm gonna just crop that out and delete that frame. She then disappears towards the end, and I don't want that to happen either. So I'm just gonna basically just use her silhouette really. So I'm gonna delete that bit too. Now this clip is really short, so what I wanna do next is I wanna just change the speed, which you can do by just right clicking or whatever, or double click on the Mac or whatever, however you do it. Now I'm gonna change the speed right down to 25%. Now there she is, just our little ghost just standing there. What I want to do next is get rid of the green screen. So we're just going to go into effects here on the side. You can change your layout very easily, or you can click effects up the top here, however you want it. I just keep it really simple, and I'm on my MacBook Pro, so everything's a little bit short anyway. Anyway, in effects, you want to look for the Ultra key. You then drag that onto your footage, and you go to the key. You click the picker, and because this is a nice flat green screen, you don't really need to mess around with the cleanup or color select or feathering or anything like that. You can just simply click it, and it's perfect. There she is, little ghost. Now some people might just like the creepiness of how that looks anyway as it is, but for me, it's super fake. I want it to be so that you can hardly see her. So what I'm going to do next is go into the color correction and then go to Lumetri color. Bring that onto the footage again and go down to the effects. The first thing I want to do is the basic correction. I want to bring the exposure down. I want to bring the highlights down. There's probably an easier way of doing this, but this is how I'm doing it. I'm going to bring the whites right down and also the shadow right down. I also want to bring the saturation down, just in case there's any other colours that have escaped into the footage. And whilst we can still see her, I want to just change the positioning of her. So we just change it. So I'm just going to pull her across a bit and just scale her down a little bit so she looks further back. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this to the front of the clip, and what we want to do now is put in a keyframe. You can do that by just hitting these next to the position things. The next thing I'm going to do is just pull the time along a little bit, and I'm just going to alter these. So I just want to bring it up a bit and maybe just across a little bit. And I'm just going to do this throughout this clip to bring in some movement. Okay, so now if we play that back, you can see that she moves. It still looks super fake, although some people might still get freaked out by that. What I want to do next is I want to add a blur. So I'm going to search for blur in here and I'm just going to add a Gaussian blur to it. Drag that onto the clip again. And I'm going to bring the blurriness up to about 10. Or 9.7 to be exact. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back into the colouring and I'm going to go to curves. This is my favourite little editing technique. I'm going to use the middle white balance and just bring it right down. I'm then going to bring the darker bit in. And as you can see, she's barely visible now, looking a lot more realistic. Now, just to blend this all a little bit more, I'm going to go to the background layer, add in some color correction for that too. So I'm going to come on here and I'm going to go to temperature. I'm going to bring it down just a touch. And then I'm going to go to saturation, bring that also down just a touch. Then going to go to curves. I'm going to go to just beyond the middle point and I'm going to just bring that in a little bit. And then I want to go to shadows as well. So shadows is here, and I'm just going to bring that down some more. So there we go, you can barely see what's going on here. So yeah, that's a super basic tutorial on how to edit a ghost into your footage. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to export it and upload to TikTok on a brand new account that nobody's seen before and see how people react to it. I want to know if people think it's fake or real. If you like this tutorial, please be sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up to the video. And also tag me or message me if you use these skills in any of your videos and I'll give you a shout out next week in my next Tuesday Top Tech Tips tutorials, whatever I'm going to call it. Thanks for watching and please stay safe.